So I wasn't raised in a Christian home. So the first time I went to church wasn't until I was 17 and a half. When I was at school, I was consistently taken to the headmaster's office. Once I was caught doing Michael Jackson dance moves outside the headmaster's office, which got me in more trouble. So we moved to Scotland when I was 9, and we did move into a nicer area, but that meant that we were like from a council estate living in a nice area. So we stuck out a little bit like a sore thumb. So I started smoking at 12, started taking hash at 12, and just kind of dived right into that kind of lifestyle, really. When I was 17, I went to a party, got absolutely smashed. There was a really nice guy there called Kev. Turns out he was a Christian, although I didn't know that at the time. At New Year, I took Kev to some of my friends' houses, and I ended up getting into a fight with a girl. I was winning that fight, but that meant that her boyfriend jumped in. So he was beating me up, and one of my friends came out from one of the local houses with a knife to separate it. He didn't use it, but it was just a threat to separate it. And I remember really clearly in the kind of chaos, seeing Kev stand down the street with like a chalk white face, and the kind of thought popped into my head that not everyone lives like this. So I went along to his youth group. I joined one of the groups and discovered that the youth leader that was taking my group, it was his first night, and he was from a very similar kind of background to me. So although the young people in the church wouldn't really speak to me, I spent a lot of time talking with James, and he suggested that I did an alpha to cover some of the major questions. So the alpha that I went to was in a really big like church hall, but there was maybe only like 5 people. It was a really small alpha, and the couple that ran it just had like infinite amounts of grace for every question you can think of under the sun. I just asked everything, and it just I really started to think that Jesus might be the real deal, but I didn't know how that worked in my life because it was so vastly different. And I definitely, off the back of that alpha, decided that I thought that Jesus was the real deal and that there was something in it. But it was going to be a lengthy process for that to actually work its way through everything, if that makes sense. It was a really step-by-step journey. There was an element of belonging with James, that I belonged to that group before I believed, that I could come with all the questions. I think at every turn that I have gone, oh God, I'm just useless, he's thrown someone in my path that has said, you're not useless, you can do this, come on.